Bloop, bloop. Excelente. Oh. Enable. Lisa Davenport. That's so crazy. All right. I don't know if you know this. Actually, first, before I get too far, I just want to make sure. What's up, Nick? Can y'all hear me? What's up, baby? Y'all can hear me? Sweet. Good to go. Hey, Lisa. Ironically, we have the same last name. I want to start out by saying Merry Christmas to everybody. I missed that. And now I want to say Happy New Year's to everybody. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'm going to say this probably a few times as people come through. However, you're originally a renegade. Sweet, crafty, what's up? But yes, crazy enough as it might be, I keep screwing that up. We actually share the same last name. So my adopted father actually lived in, oh God, I'm gonna let me not I know where it's at on a map vaguely. Let's see. I'm looking for it. Okay. Starts with a R. But for whatever reason, I can't remember the name of it, but it's in South Carolina. For all of those who have joined and have not said hello yet, hello, Happy New Year, and Merry Christmas. I know I mentioned that I was supposed to be doing a live last Friday. However, unfortunately, the internet at where I was not strong enough to support. I can't remember if it's Rock Hill. Rock Hill does not ring a bell. However, I do know that it is not super far away from Carowinds. That's right there on the North and South Carolina line. I want to say it's something within an hour ride. And I definitely want to remember it starts with an R. Rock Hill might be right. But I honestly, I don't. It's been so long since I've been there, and he passed away, like 4 or 5 years ago. Rock Hill might be right. Your sister lives in Duncan. I only ever got a chance to go see him like twice. And like I said, I'm not gonna spend an eternity trying to find this. Rock Hill might be right. I don't know. Like I would literally have to sit here and spend the time to go through the town to see if I could find the spot where he used to live. Because it looks like Rock Hill's not that big. But Shayla, what's going on? But yeah, like I said, it's something out there. Because I went to Carowinds when I was one of the times I was out there to visit with him. Carowinds was cool. That was back when they had, and I don't know if they have it anymore, but they used to have the Top Gun ride. And it looks like, I'm looking at the map of the theme park, and it appears they're calling it Afterburn now. What's up, Big Drew? Happy New Year. But yeah, I actually remember Carowinds quite well. I'm sure they have some new stuff out there now, but you went to college in Greenville and from Colorado, so it's a bit of a, yeah, I bet. So how is everybody doing? Everybody have a good holiday? So much hugging. So yeah, quiet but nice. That's not a bad thing, really. That's not a bad thing at all. It's good sometimes to have that quiet. I need something to make noise. We do. Southers are loving. I'm more of a handshake or knuckles guy. Um, I feel like I'm the same way with people I don't know. If I've had the opportunity to get to know you, then yeah, I'm a hugger. I'll claim that. So how about these winter storms? Yeah, because like, I mean, the truth be told, I legitimately have the whole PTSD thing, and I don't trust people. And I if I don't know you, I tend to be very standoffish at first anyway. And I will do the things to get to know you before I really before I kind of let you inside my bubble, so to say. 10-day forecast. So my boss seems to be absolutely just frightened that we're going to have like a completely, like, we're gonna freeze over sometime in the next few days. And it's like 22 is the low for 2 days. And then let's see, Sunday, the low for Sunday is 22, Sunday night. By Thursday, it's supposed to be back up to 33. So, whew, cold. I know some of y'all got it way colder than that right now. Oh yeah, hopefully you don't lose power. I hope we don't lose power either. Because the good thing is if we do lose power, luckily where I live is on a primary grid or an important grid or whatever, because there's a police department and 2 schools that it's on our grid, as well as I'm not sure about the fire department, but there's definitely like the police department. So they'll do everything they can to make sure that police department keeps power. And I'm sure they have backup power, but college football, I quit watching football a long time ago. Supposed to be in the mid 30s during the day and low teens. Oof. COVID in September. I don't know for sure because I never went and got tested, but I'm like 99% sure that I had COVID in 2020. It only really lasted about 4 or 5 days, but the most that really happened to me was I had on and off fevers. Like they would come and go a lot. And I would get a fever. It would last, and it wasn't like crazy fever. It was like 100, 101. Sometimes only like 99, just enough to call it a fever. And then it would go away after about an hour, 2 hours. And then 2 or 3 hours later, it come back. It's like it just rotated like that. And then, of course, the typical, I lost the sense of smell, which also affected my sense of taste, which in that I found that your sense of taste is very dependent on your sense of smell. And without your sense of smell, you're limited to salts and sweets as far as being able to taste anything. So almost anything else, you can't taste it. Carolyn Rowe, what's going on? Oh, that's crazy. That's actually really low. Yeah, usually not bad. I've got it. I've had it before, but this time you got brain swelling. Oh, wow. Is there anything else that they have found, or is it just that? What's up, Amanda? DeGardy, what's up, my dude? How you been, man? How was your Christmas and New Year's? Pneumonia? Dude. Carolyn Rowe, new to my channel. Welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy it. You have autoimmune and Lyme. Oof. Sorry to hear that. Mine was good. Mine was good. I really can't complain. I have contracted diabetes, and I feel like it's somewhat controlled. I haven't been taking anything for it, mostly because like they won't, the VA won't give me anything else for it for whatever reason, and the medicine that they give me doesn't do it. Like if I don't take it, I don't notice a difference. So I feel like it's not doing anything. So I quit taking it, but I do what I can to do the same as Lisa. I control mine with diet the best I can. Yeah, dude, it sucks. It is what it is. I went through a spell, and I 100% transparency. Like I did it to myself because when I got out of the army, I kind of lost my way, so to say, and I went through this spell for about 6 months where I was just not doing shit, no exercise, no nothing. I get up, I go to work, I come home, I sit down and watch like movies or like whatever. And basically I like Netflix and fucking Skittles. And then next thing you know, I'm up and down every 2 hours. If I don't go, I'm literally pissing myself. And it was crazy. And then finally it was December. I think it was December of 18. Like I was helping my mom with some stuff, and I was drinking the soda on the way to her house, and I just felt really weird. I would take a sip of the soda and just feel just odd. And then afterwards, it's like my mom gave me the little prick test thing. It's just like, take it home, wait till in the morning when you wake up in the morning, and take it, use one of these, prick your finger, and then see what it says. And like my blood sugar was like 460 something. You turn 40 tomorrow? That's crazy. I turned 42 last month. When I first started over the road, I had no fridge or anything, so I was fast food for like 1 year straight. Oof. Yeah, like right now, I would have to say right now I'm pretty in control, because like fairly in control. Probably not like super good, but I'm actually about to try this carnivore diet for a little bit. Unfortunately, meat in general is just ridiculously expensive. And it's like, turning 30 in April. Ouch. 30's a good year. Get back in the gym and stuff, dude. Like starting Monday, like I'm paying for a gym membership. I'm not even using it like an idiot. But starting Mondays, actually probably start tomorrow more than likely. No, I won't. Because I have to go to the dealership with my motorcycle tomorrow and get a recall done. And I got to be there early. So probably Sunday. I'll start Sunday. But back in the gym, pumping it, and then getting out on the road and start running again. Bro, I so understand that. Because there's a lot of times where I'm just like, bro, my body just screams that I'm twice the age I am. Bam. Let's see here. I will probably be doing videos through the weekend this weekend, just because I haven't done anything in like the last week or so. My first one probably will be tomorrow. At least I feel that way. 30 is. I agree with that, DeGardy. For those of y'all that don't know, if y'all will hear me called Gary DeGardy, because that's how I know him. Me and him were stationed together out at Fort Polk. Good times. So when you see me speak to him, that's how I refer to him. My dude. Oh, y'all want to know something that's funny? My last live got hit with a copyright because of the Yellowbird song and stuff that we did. Yep, copyright. And I'm like, bro, that's crazy. Yep, sure did. Let's see. Where's my lives? Ooh, I gotta get some. I gotta get on the ball with some of my stuff, but I'll show you right. Chill. Right here. Ineligible. This video cannot be not monetized. Copyright. Click on see details. It got hit for the click, tick, tick, boom. Architect. I don't know what those were for. And then the first one it got hit for is Yellowbird by the Jonathan Michael Fleming guy. What? You can't eat beef due to tick bite? What does that mean? You can eat a little bit of chicken and very little pork, which is... You can't do the carnivore diet due to genetic mutation that prevents me from processing ketones. That sucks. Ketones is what you need to lose weight. All right, I am going to turn that off. And while we're chitty chatting, I am going to take care of some of these copyright stuff. I have like 3 copyright things I got to take care of. I'm going to put y'all over here. As I have not done any of my appeals or anything because I haven't been home. Tick causes line. Man, that's crazy. I mean, realistically, if I wanted to, I could probably I could probably do that or go to that live and challenge those copyrights. But I didn't turn on monetization on that live anyway, so to a degree it's kind of pointless. Oh, by the way, don't forget to like the stream. It helps. It'll get the stream pushed out there. Maybe we can get some new people in here. That would be awesome. Did I close that window? I did. Or no, I didn't. I put it over here. All right, let's get this done. Have you done Ren Gill? I've done Ren, but I don't recall a Ren Gill. I can tell you one thing that I'm starting to get really annoyed with is all of the scammers that send me emails telling me that they want to do a collaboration with me, and they turn out to be. I had one recently that just sent me one, and it looked really legit until I decided to wait until I got home to scrub it, and then I found out that the website that they were trying to get me to sign stuff on, instead of it being DocuSign.com's website, it was V as in Victor DocuSign.com. I think I think that V stood for like a virtual, so they made like a virtual website or something like that to try to get me into some BS that I didn't need to be into. So far I have been extremely fortunate to have been able to avoid all of the scammers so far. Ren is your hero. He goes by just Ren most of the time. All right, Michelle, I appreciate you coming. Hope to see you next time. Yeah. Ren Gill. Okay, I didn't know that was his full name. But yeah, I have done. I did High Ren. Let me see. Well, let me finish this copyright thing real quick, and then I'll pull it up, and I'll name off all the ones I've done so far. Because this is for the Dorothy video that I did not too long ago. What was it? Dorothy, Rest in Peace, which was actually a really great song. I grew up as a Christian, but I've been doing a whole lot of soul searching since my last accident. Yeah, I definitely hear that. Ren makes music. I thought you did. All right, that's good. All right, let's see. I've got to stop letting this stuff take too long. All right, filter Ren. I've done actually quite a few. My very first one that I did of Ren was somebody suggested that I look into High Ren. And then I did Sick Boy, Suicide, For Joe, Murderer, and then Dumb King Come, whatever. Lost All Faith, Money Game Part 3, Mackay, How to Be Me, Baggage, and Money Ties. I know I still got a bunch of them that are out there, but what's up, okay, Tracy? I appreciate you. I'm doing pretty good. I do Citizen Soldiers. I've actually done quite a few of theirs and have had I've done 6 of theirs, and a couple of them they have whoever Citizen Soldier is, like their lead guy, I guess, or whatever. They have actually commented on a couple of my videos, thanking me for doing their stuff. It's like one right here. He said, "Thank you for helping to share this message with your subscribers." I think that's usually what they, about the amount of what they say typically. Oh, he said, "Thanks for being so real and vulnerable with these reactions." It's almost looking like they just about commented on all of the videos I've done. So three of the 6 videos of theirs that I've done, they have commented on, or they commented. I don't see. Yeah, just the first three that I did, they commented on. They do. They do. They falling reverse. I dude, falling in reverse is crazy good. I forget what reactions led me to you. Have you ever reacted to Rush? I don't think I have. Let's see. Rush. No, I have not reacted to Rush yet. His How to Be Me song stopped me from ending it about a year and a half ago. I hadn't heard it before, but it started auto playing and stopped me in my tracks. I was actually writing my notes, so yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that's tough. I'm gonna be 100% transparent. Me making this channel saved my life, honestly. Because if it hadn't, it was after me doing the first like 3 or 4 songs, and which were all, the first 2 were Five Finger Death Punch, and I think I did them about a week apart from each other, and like they just hit immediately. So, you like my water bottle? Awala makes really good. The only, if I had something to complain about, is that this part of the water bottle does a terrible job at keeping anything cold. So, but it is what it is. But yeah. So, like I was saying, the Five Finger Death Punch, I actually watched about 2 minutes of another vet, or he said he was a veteran. I don't know that he really was or not, but who am I to judge? But anyway, the guy said he was a veteran. He reacted to the Five Finger Death Punch Gone Away. And I watched about 2 minutes of his, 2 or 3 minutes, whatever it was, of his reaction. And I was like, bro, I relate to this too much to not do it. So I was like, let me give it a whirl. And so I was like, I already have everything I need to record, so why not? So I turned on all my stuff, started recording, and here we are. And what is that? May 14th of 2022. So we're getting close to 3 years. Now, I this past year, I took a lot of like breaks here and there, but let's see. I realized I couldn't put my family and friends through it. It hurt. I really, really want out of this pain, but yeah. Currently, I am at 35,599. Big Drew, you're not alone, Nick. I've been on that edge 3 times, and 2 I played Russian roulette. Not a good place. I've been I've been far closer to than I really than I'd really ever want to admit. And I honestly, my family being probably the number one thing that has kept me from going that far. But me knowing and having read and seen all of the people that I have that I've been able to reach through what I do, that I think that really is the number one thing that keeps me in a good space most of the time. This past year was a terrible year for me and my family. All of the different things that I've had to go through last year kept challenging me and putting me in a bad space. And I have every bit of ambition to make 2025 a much better year than last year. So that is where I want to be. Let's see. I say I both love and hate Ren for that video. Which video? I know that the Ren's suicide video really got me. How to Be You? Okay. Oh, that's the one that he did with that girl. Yeah, Ren and however you saying is her name, Chinchilla, or however you say it. Yeah, she's really good. Yeah, the that video, hit pretty hard. I have not. Recommend something. We'll get her done. Oh, I find it funny. There's a lot of, well, not a lot. There's a few, better to say, of creators that seem. Little Girl Gone is fun. Fingers. Okay. I'll throw one on PayPal this week. All right. I appreciate that. Sorry about all the typing in the background. Like I said, I like Ren's new video, Slaughterhouse. Oh, I haven't seen that yet. I'll have to do that one too. Ooh, So who has what's everybody's New Year's resolutions? We got any good ones out there? Read the Bible. That's a good one. Get more healthy. Cuddle with me as much as possible. Be careful, big boy. Not to live, laugh, and toaster bath. Huh? You gave up on those? Yeah, I'm not huge on the New Year's resolutions per se, but I have it's kind of one, but it's it plays into many facets of my life, and that's to remain more consistent. Because I tend to I tend to be bad with being consistent with some things, and that's kind of one of the things that I need to work on for myself. And the Remington retirement plan. Yeah, Ren does a really good job at using his mind to write lyrics that reach people down to their core. La 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 la. Okay. Is changing. Doctors are finally listening. Burned your calendars. Have I heard Promise to Live by Disciple? I have not. Grippy Sock Gel. I like that. That's an interesting ring to it. All right, last one. I'm telling y'all, these copyright things really, they really suck. And it's like I've said it before in a couple of my videos. Like the ultimate goal of this channel is to finally make enough money that I can use the earnings from this channel to go and and try to change somebody's life, right? Now, I'm fully aware that that is going to be a huge challenge because of the fact that it is hard to trust people in today's world. So what copyright things like all right, so pretty much every video I do ends up with some kind of copyright, not necessarily a strike, but it ends up with a copyright claim placed against it. And I end up having to fight that copyright claim because I am using the music and video as because I'm doing a reaction to it in a commentary. I can use it under what's called the Fair Use Act. Now, there has been a few times where even though I have that legal right to do it, they will still have my video removed. And it's usually like a 30 plus day thing in order for me to get that copyright stuff fixed. And it always messes with the amount of money I'm able to make through the channel. And like I said, eventually what I want to do is to take the money that I make through the channel and be able to take that and put it back into the veteran community and be able to help somebody get back on their feet or whatever the case may be, and kind of give back and be able to help somebody and actually get them, where they're, functioning back in society again. Because I mean, there are veterans out there that are homeless and so on and so forth that per balls. Oh, CK, gotta love it. But there's and some of that is me because my inconsistency over the last year. But like I said, I have every plan to become more consistent this year so that I can help hopefully keep my numbers up and keep my numbers growing. I have seen an uptick in my views over the last month because I've been posting more. So that's obviously a great thing. Said so yeah, it sucks it sucks having to go back and forth with the copyright stuff because it, like I said, it kind of it gets in the way of the channel being able to make money. I didn't start this to make money, but I'm taking advantage of the fact that it has the ability to make money. But the ultimate goal is to eventually be able to make enough money that I can, and like I said it before, in turn take that and go and help somebody. That way, you know what I'm saying? There's too many veterans taking their own lives nowadays, and somebody has to. Somebody's got to. What is this? Oh, okay. It's based off of um, the biggest amount of money that the channel makes is through ads. So when y'all watch the video and then the ads play, I get a portion of the revenue from the ads. And then I also get a little bit of money. It's not a lot. I also get a certain amount of money for every 1,000 views. And pretty much none of it has anything to do with subscription or how many subscribers I get. Like the only thing the subscriber count really helps towards is the initial audience that it's pushed out to. I appreciate that, Lisa. I really do. But it's like I said before, like I deal with it. I deal with it a lot. Like for example, today I was over at the registration office standing in line. Actually, the worst part was this morning I had to report for jury duty, which I didn't get picked, thank God, but I'm in the middle of this room that's just full of people, and I'm like, I need to sit next to the door, bro, because I need to be like, if it becomes to the point where I can't take anymore, I have to step out. They ended up not picking me, thank goodness, but sales pitch for a razor. I might have to look that up. I can't remember that. I don't know why. Sales pitch for a razor. Yeah, when I go places, I have to be sitting where I can see the door, because I have to be able, like, and I'm always evaluating everybody because I'm sizing everybody up, always. And like man, woman, it doesn't matter. Everybody that walks through that door, everybody that I see that's in there, I'm sizing everybody up. Bird balls. And it's when it comes to the last time I was really in like any like crazy crowds or anything, and I just like my anxiety got the best of me. Is me and the family went to a local fair. When we first got there, I was good, but we got there like right after it opened. After being there for about an hour and a half, it started filling up, and I started freaking out. There was just way too many people there. Yeah, no. And anywhere I go, I I'll do everything I can to make sure that my back is against a wall somewhere. If I if I'm not able if I'm not able to be able to see the door, then my back's got to be against a wall or something like that. If I can at all help it. What? We got another subscriber. I'm at 35,600 now. What happens to me is really hard to explain. I go into a frantic mode, and like I'll start crying because I get upset. Like not crying, but like I'll draw tears and everything. And I get to the point where I just want to fight everybody. I went to a baseball game, but luckily like where we were sitting, there was like almost next to nobody there over at the new Ranger Stadium. No, 252 is right. I've only uh March will make year 3, I think. Yeah. But yeah, 252 is the correct amount. No. It actually is 245. 245 is how many um reaction videos I have out. I also have 4 shorts, which the shorts never really did good enough for me to really go anywhere with it. So I kind of stopped doing that. The lives have been doing decent. So I have continued to do that so far, and I have learned at this point that if I stay away from music and just hang out with y'all and get, because I started doing the lives pretty much kind of to give y'all an opportunity to interact directly with me, and not because like some of the other people that do the reaction channels, they'll do like reactions live, and I'm like, that's great and everything, but then I have to go through and fight an obnoxious even more to try to get those copyright claims, and I'm like, ugh. So I'll do. I had a couple of people that got in here and slipped up and told me that they had some videos that they made, and we watched their videos. Some liked, some didn't. My response to them, but I'm an honest person. Rangers, I live in Texas. Oh, I bet. The joy of purr balls. I couldn't imagine having 7 siblings. I couldn't do it. I mean, not that I would have a choice, but I only ever had one sister that I grew up with, but I have, I guess if you count all of them, I have four, six total. But like I said, I only grew up with one. I love Texas. It is what it is. I never struggled with anxiety before, but I got into a fight with an 18 wheeler the Friday before Christmas. I find I am anxious now in a car. I can definitely I can relate to that. When I'm driving down the road, because of my time downrange in Iraq especially, but also in Afghanistan, I we so those guys over there would they would put IEDs in like carcasses of animals, in trash bags, in jugs, under rocks, under the road. So it's like seeing trash on the side of the road is like nerve-wracking sometimes for me. What's up, weatherman? How you doing? Sorry for the crinkles. I'm trying to avoid coughing. I'm doing pretty good. My family's trying to get me sick, but other than that, we're doing good. Do 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 do. Uh Good to see you, man. Yeah, that's just one facet. That's just one thing. Cause it's like the worst thing ever is you're driving along, you're driving along, you're driving along, you're driving along. Everything seems to be good, and then all of a sudden, the only thing you can see out the window is brown. You can't hear anything, and your training says to punch it, right? And punch it by meaning just stomp on the gas and just drive through whatever it is. And but in the back of your head, you're like your response is to stop. Like normal human beings, it's like everything just happens. You want to stop, but you're trained to keep going to try to push through it. And part of that is if the person in front of you is actually the one that gets hit, that you'll push them out of whatever kill zone was created. Or if you get hit, hopefully your vehicle is still good enough that you can drive through that kill zone. But then you got actually being in firefights. And then you got I think the worst. I think the worst, even being shot at, it's not even the worst for me. The worst is the indirect fire. And for those of you that don't know what indirect fire is, That's the rounds that are coming in you don't know about until it's too late. And yeah, well, IED is kind of like a general term that covers everything. There's some specifics that are out there, but IED, improvised explosive device, is what we generally call them because that's what the public has heard of the most. So, and it's a good name to cover pretty much everything because they're all handmade devices usually. It's almost hardly ever where you will come across an IED that wasn't handmade somehow. So, but like I said, I think the worst, and I think it's pretty much tied with the IEDs, really, because you never really know when it's going to happen. Is the indirect fire? Yeah, there's, I forget what the number is now. It's well over 200 different types of triggers that they use. And then it's a lot of like the ones that they bury in the roads. What they'll do is they'll take like a 5 gallon oil can and then they'll dump all the oil and then fill it with high explosive powder, and then they'll run their charge wires to it and then bury it in the middle of the road. And you figure a quarter, well, an eighth of a stick of dynamite is enough to blow a door open, right? And which is something about that big. A You imagine a 5 gallon bucket full of high explosive powder. So that's it literally creates a crater in the ground. If that bucket is buried 5 foot deep, either 5 or 6 foot deep, in the dirt under the road, it will blow a hole about 25 feet wide and about 10 to 15 foot deep. It put a hole in the ground big enough to put a Striker combat vehicle in. Let me see if I can bring one up. Da, 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 da. Can I get a bigger picture? That's like the same picture with some Photoshop stuff on it. Let's see here. All right, this will give you a little context. This is a Striker. Get rid of this. This right here is a Striker, right? You can see how tall that guy is. From the bottom to about right here is roughly about 8 feet. Somewhere around 8 to 9 feet. I have seen IEDs bury the entire front of this thing. Ugh, where'd it go? Da 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 da. My dad was in the Navy, and seeing is dealing with what he went through. Which things are you talking about, Lisa? Like with the things happening around the U.S.? Yeah, strikers are actually quite fun to drive. I'll rephrase that. When they're working like they're supposed to, they're fun to drive. Their suspension systems are garbage. Nitrogen is such an easy thing to leak out of them, and it's put into it as a gas, and the fitting, like, it always leaks out sometimes. So, brother-in-law did a tour in Afghanistan. He lost one of his best friends to a sniper. I've heard stories secondhand and know better than to ask questions. Just listen. Yeah, that's Louisiana and the Vegas explosion. The Vegas explosion, I need to look more into, but from what I have heard so far, is it was supposedly a special operations guy. He was supposedly a Green Beret. And I can tell you from firsthand experience that if it was a Green Beret that wanted to blow something up or kill somebody in particular, there's no question in my mind that would have happened. The thing in Louisiana where the guy just drives around the cop car into the crowd, I don't know. Because I really feel like wait, that was in New Orleans. They say that's they're calling it a terrorist attack. But I don't think that there's really I don't know that there's really enough to really call it a terrorist attack. And if it is, like, where did it come from? Like, apparently, like, supposedly the guy has some kind of ties to ISIS. But I don't know. I'll look into that more. We'll talk about it next week. But one of the things I will say, because if you look at it right now, what's one of the things that was a big thing about 2 to 3 weeks ago, but it's no longer a big thing anymore? The Louisiana guy was on a watch list. I mean, that's what they say. All of a sudden, he's on a watch list. How come they didn't find him before? I mean, I feel like if it's a known terrorist affiliation and he was on a watch list, I feel like crossed the border 2 days before the attack. I don't know. I'm not opposed to saying that might have been an implant, because think like and hear me out. We just recently went through this thing where these drones all of a sudden become a big thing. Now we're not hearing about it anymore because we found out right after the drone thing started that the Biden administration started selling off all of the material for the border wall. Well, once that came out, we stopped hearing about the drones. That started fading away. The truck crossed the border, not necessarily him. It was a rental through a website. Like I said, I'll dig around into that a little bit. But one of the things that I definitely want to emphasize people to keep their eyes open to is things. The drone thing happened, and then we found out that they were selling materials for the border wall. It often seems like they keep doing things in order to redirect people's eyes in a different direction from something else that's going on. So keep that in mind. And then on top of that, this part I can't stress enough. Biden and all of his boys and all of them people, they made this such a big deal about this supposed insurrection that happened. Yeah, I agree. Um, but they have they're practically trying to start World War III now. I mean, they okayed shooting rockets. I mean, now North Korea is trying to get involved. So while they're trying, like everybody was trying to pin Trump against the wall and get him put in jail and all of these other things that they were trying to do the whole time he was in office, the whole time he was trying to run for office, and then the last 4 years where he wasn't even in office. But anyway, here we are. Right. Now they're claiming that they want a peaceful transfer of power, but yet they are doing everything they can to make the world so unsteady by the time he goes into office that it's just it's crazy. So like they say, things unfortunately will get worse before they get better, but it's only a matter of time. Oh, 100%, 100%. So as far as I'm concerned, if you see something major happen in the news, for instance, like this guy in New Orleans and this thing in California, like bear in mind that while there could be some legitimacy to it, I won't deny that it could be something legitimate. It could really be a terrorist attack. I don't really think it's a terrorist attack because I mean, all he did was drive his truck through a crowd. And granted, yeah, he killed 15 people, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't personally see that as a terrorist attack. I see flying an airplane into the Twin Towers definitely is a terrorist attack. Like, I hijacked the airplane instead of, like, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. Was it he was shooting? Like I said, I don't know a ton about this guy and what was going on. Supposedly, they see, like I'm looking at this thing, and apparently he was, let's see, Jabbar 42, an Army veteran and U.S. citizen born in Texas. So, Shamsud Din Jabbar. The vehicle was driving, he was driving during an attack, was electric and rented from a platform Turo known as the Airbnb for cars. He was born in Beaumont, or he was brought up in Beaumont, Eastern Texas, near Louisiana border. None of that really matters anything. He was raised Muslim. Uh, oh, he was shooting at cops. Yeah, I don't know. See, they're not even sure because it says here, what do we know about the possible motive? And it says the authorities had been investigating whether Jabbar had accomplices, but later clarified that they were confident he acted alone. FBI Deputy Assistant Director said officials had recovered 3 mobile phones and 2 laptops belonging to Jabbar, which were being examined by the FBI. Biden said he had been briefed by the FBI and that the suspect uploaded videos on social media mere hours before the attack. One of the videos Jabbar posted on the drive, he said he initially intended to harm his family, but decided against it, believing it would not have illustrated the war between the believers and non-believers. Jabbar is said in the videos that he joined ICE, probably. It says is, but I think it's supposed to be ISIS, before the summer, and offered a will and testament. I don't know. You get a lot of your news from memes. There's actually like large Muslim communities in a lot more spaces than you believe, or that you would actually know. It's just a lot of times you just don't know about it. But everybody has their own differences in Muslims. The obviously, having been able to spend time, or having spent as much time as I have in Iraq and Afghanistan, I have had the opportunity to associate with a lot of the locals there. And in my experience, as long as you're not looking for anything and you are just living and coexisting, then all of the Muslims I've ever met were probably some of the nicest people I've ever met. Would give you the shirt off their backs. But at the same time, they will lie to your face faster than you would ever believe. So, I don't know. Apparently there was a homemade bomb as well on Bourbon Street, I guess, according to this map that I'm looking at. As a truck swerves around people and basically mauls down a bunch of people. And then he makes it about 2.5 blocks maybe just past 2.5 blocks, and then somebody shoots and kills him. And then about 3-4 blocks from that, there's apparently a homemade bomb sitting in the middle of the road or something, I guess. I don't know. Nick, that is so true. That is so true. If I look at news, I'm looking at news from other countries usually. Like BBC. I'll look at BBC for news about our country before I'll look at ours. So, but anyway, I've got to cut this because I got to go. I got some tires I got to change on my motorcycle. So, and I've got to get that done before tomorrow morning. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all that came. I'll look a little more into this, and maybe we can have a further discussion on it maybe next week. But anyhow, that's going to be it for me. I really appreciate y'all coming. It's been great. I've had a great time talking to y'all. Y'all have a great night, and y'all have a great weekend. Y'all take care. We'll see y'all later.